Welcome to T-Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 151. And obviously we are back again in FA Cup action. Obviously we are travelling another trip to Goodison Park. Obviously we had one earlier on in the season, which obviously a very memorable one as it was our first ever Premier League win. Very good win. You know, remember me and my dad were watching it and we were like, whoa, we are already 2-0 up in 31 minutes. And we was like, wow. Because I remember going into it, we wasn't confident. You know, the pair of us, I think I said 1-0 and Dad might have said the same, but we are back again. This time in the FA Cup, like I say, it's going to be an interesting one, you know, for sure. But like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
All good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good. All good. Looking forward to playing again. It feels like it's been a while. You know, it hasn't actually really been that long, but it just feels like a while. Obviously, the boys were out in Dubai. Obviously, they're come back now. So, yeah, refreshed and all of that sort of thing. But, yeah, let's get into it. So, like I say, obviously, Everton in the FA Cup. That's our second trip to Goodison Park this season. And we still got to play them again. You know, obviously, that one will be at Kenilworth Road. But, yes, like I say, it's going to be an interesting one. You know, both teams have improved, you know, since the last time out. Obviously, you know, since they got a points deduction, it seems like they've been more motivated and determined to, you know, do even better. You know, as for us, we've improved massively as well. So, like I say, it's one of them. A bit of insight going into it. Like we always do. Everton have progressed from all three of their FA Cup ties against Luton Town, most recently winning a quarter-final replay 1-0 in 1985 to 86. Luton have already beaten Everton at Goodison Park this season, winning 2-1 in the Premier League. The only top-flight side they've beaten twice on the road in the same campaign is Stoke City in 1984 to 85. Everton have won 7 of their last 8 FA Cup fourth-round ties, with the exception being a 3-2 loss against Millwall in 2018 to 19. However, they've not progressed from successive ties against fellow Premier League opponents since 2015-16, which was round 5 against Bournemouth, quarter-final against Chelsea. Luton have alternated between being eliminated 3 and progressing twice from their last 5 FA Cup fourth-round ties, going out to Grimsby at this stage last season. Luton have only progressed from one of their last 10 FA Cup ties against Premier League opposition, and that one was obviously, you know, history. That was obviously beating Norwich 1-0 in 2012 to 13 as a National League side, you know, at their ground as well. And yeah, a bit more going into it. The Hatters are aiming to reach the 5th round of the FA Cup for only the 5th time in 36 years when they head to Everton. The Town reached last 16 of the competition 2 years ago before losing to Chelsea at Kenilworth Road. The previous time the Hatters reached the same stage came 11 years ago this week when Paul Buckle's side created history, like I just said, by beating Norwich. Standing in a way of 5-time FA Cup winners Everton, the Toffees, runners-up in 2009, beat the Hatters in their last 2 FA Cup meetings in a quarter-final replay in 1986 and the semi-final at Villa Park in 1985. The Hatters, however, will head to Goodison Park confident of repeating the 2-1 victory from earlier on in the season, as goals from Tom Lockyer and Morris earning Rob Edwards' sides their first ever win in the Premier League and the first in the top flight since 1992. A bit more about Everton. Everton's season to date has been dominated by their 10-point deduction in the Premier League for failing to comply with the league's profit and sustainability rules. Despite that, the Toffees rolled and a run of 5 wins from 6 games lifted them from relegation danger, despite the penalty. However, a run which has seen Sean Dyche's side take 1 point from their last 4 games has been slide back into trouble. Everton now lie 1 place and 1 point above the Hatters in the table. Like the Hatters, they reached the 4th round stage following a replay, beating Crystal Palace 1-0 at Goodison Park last week. Rob Edwards going into it. The league, of course, is the most important, but this game is the next game, and we'll prepare right because we want to win and go as far as we can, the manager said. I'm aware we've got an important game a few days later, but we've got things in place. Our focus is to win the game now, and we've got two extremely difficult games coming up in the Premier League. The FA Cup is an amazing competition, so we're taking it very, very seriously. For us, we want to continue building our performances and the feel-good factor because we've been in good form. I'm really looking forward to it. Everton's a brilliant football club. It's a great stadium, so the motivation is there for us. And then obviously, team news going into it. No Jordan Clark in this one, which is a bit gutting because for me, I'd have started him if we could have. Obviously he was very good against Bolton. Quite influential in that game. Obviously got an assist for the first goal, but he won't be available due to picking up 2 bookings in the games against Bolton in the previous rounds. And then Anderson remains unavailable. Kabore is obviously still on international duty, and then Nakamba's still out, but Lokonga is available, for selection. Again, he was available against Bolton, but we just, rested him. But this one, I would, at least have him, on the bench. For me, the referee in this one will be Simon Hooper. Last time he was the referee in one of our games was the memorable one against Sunderland, the 2-0, of course. He's shown an average of 4.6 yellow cards from the 19 games he's overseen this season, showing 3 red cards, 2 of which came in the Tottenham versus Liverpool fixture back in September. Obviously, we know very controversial win for Tottenham that was. So yeah, that is that, and obviously there will be a VAR because obviously it is a Premier League ground as well. Obviously, we did quite a VAR in the replay against Bolton, but obviously we had it at Kenilworth Road, which again, Dad, that was quite weird for us to witness. You know what I mean? First at Kenilworth Road, anyway. But yeah, that is that really. Upon that, so after saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice, a nice break from the league as well. It's good that we're taking it seriously. Also they're our like relegation rivals at the moment, so it'd be good to see how we perform. Obviously we've beaten before, but it's going to be quite a lot of team changes compared to that game. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a nice little distraction. It does give us a good chance to go, further than we've been, because normally we don't get this far, really, do we? Do you know what I mean? So I feel confident if we could get a little run together. Who knows? Some people will say that they'd prefer to get the 3 points at Kenilworth Road in the league, things like that. But I think we'll go for it. We're in a good position in the league, so. And we have been playing well. Our form is good, so something to look forward to. And if we do get knocked out, we get knocked out. It's not. I won't be like devastated. Just want to see, as usual, a good performance, a proper FA Cup game. I think it would be quite good, actually.
Yeah, and if you are going, do enjoy it because obviously Everton not having Goodison Park for much longer as well. So. I'll be interested and make most of it in that sense, which I'm sure the fans will, atmosphere and that sort of thing. And I agree. I think it'd be a proper good game. It'd be pretty end to end. I've got a feeling, especially like you say, obviously we are relegation rivals as well. So, as long as like you say, the performance is there because it is a team that is going to be in and around us. So if we get obviously touch wood, it doesn't happen, but say we get hammered. It won't look great, will it? Even though it is the FA Cup, and it isn't our main priority. So it'd still be good to have that performance there and that sort of thing. But yeah, as for me, I'm feeling pretty confident. Like I say, obviously last time out we beat them at their ground. Again, like I say, they have improved, but so have we. We've both got better since. Obviously, for us as well, more players have been able to gel in for us, at the time, even though Lockyer did also score in that game, it was another one of them times, like we said earlier in the season, where we were so, heavily reliant on Morris. So, and now we've got other people chipping in, scoring goals as well. So, I'm confident that we'll, give it a good game. But yeah, let's get into the lineup. So again, pretty interesting. Like I say, I'd love to put Clark in, but obviously he's not going to be available. So for me, obviously, the cup keeper is going to be Krul, as we all know. So obviously Krul in goal. The back three in this one, I am going to go with. I'm going to start Burke again. Obviously, he did start against Bolton, which I did want to see. So it's good to see that. In the middle, I'm going to put Osho there. Again, not so great against Bolton as we know he can be, but I feel he'll do decent in this game. So I'll put him there. And then on the left side, I'm going to go with Menji. I'm going to continue to play Menji. Again, he didn't have a great game. As we know, obviously, he got subbed off at half time, yellow card as well. So hopefully he plays better. But again, I'm pretty sure from memory in that Everton game in the league, he was one of them that come on and helped it. Him and Anderson, I believe. Anderson definitely did. I think it was them two. And then the midfield in this one, I'm going to go with. I'm going to start Ruddock. Now we have seen a few times when he has, started in the midfield. He's sort of been isolated compared to the likes of Barkley alongside him. But play him in this game. Again, when we had them first 2 wins of the season, he actually started in both of them games as well. So yeah, I'd start Ruddock, and then alongside, I'm going to go with Barkley, of course. Again, you could see, the difference in levels between us and Bolton. In the second game, just the way he was getting on the ball, making things happen. You could just see his quality. Throughout the whole pitch, really. That sliding block as well, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to continue to go with Barkley. And then the wing backs, I'm actually going to say Bell. I'm going to say Bell. Obviously, there has been a few, speculation about Giles. Will he go? Will he not go to Hull? Looks like if he is going to go anywhere, he's going to be there. But nothing's really it was sort of a heavy rumour the other day, but now it's sort of died down a little bit. Obviously it is his birthday today. But I don't know. I just feel, it's quite a heavy rumour, so he might not even be in and around the squad for this game. So I'm going to go Bell on that left. But I wouldn't be surprised if he is, part of that back three again. And then on the right, I'm going to go Doughty. Again, you don't want him to play too much, but then again, it is the stage where he's played in these games where you'd expect more of a rotated squad anyway, especially like the last game, for example. Obviously, it was still, a few bigger names there like Barkley and that, but, he has been playing. Even when we played Gillingham earlier in the season, he played in that game. So I'm gonna stick with him, but I'm gonna put him on the right. Obviously, Mo Kabore as well. So the only options you can really go with is either him or Chio, really. There. And then the 3 up front, essentially, I'm going to put Morris in the middle. I'm going to start him in this game. Obviously, like I said earlier, did score against Everton in the league as well. And then alongside, like I say, this is where I'd love to put Clark, but obviously he's not available. So I'm going to go Brown. I'm going to start Brown in this one. And then alongside them on the right, for me, I'm going to go Chong. Obviously, he's very good in the last FA Cup game. Obviously, scored against Bolton. Very well taken finish as well. And hopefully that's given him a lot of confidence. And then he can have a good game here against Everton. So that's the lineup I'm going to go with in this one. So Krul in goal, back 3 of Menji, Osho, Burke. The wing backs have got Bell on the left, Doughty on the right. Barkley and Ruddock as the defensive, sort of midfielders. And then the 3 up front, essentially, Brown on the left, Chong on the right, and Morris up front. So that's my lineup. Your lineup, Dad?
Yeah, I really like that, actually. And I did tinker with having Bell on the left as well, because like we say, it does look like Giles is going to be probably deciding to go, because it's not been shut down. So that's the way I'm thinking it.
Yeah. Nice. I'll go through the comments quickly. Big up to Jamie, says, all right, mate. Big up yourself. I'm decent, mate. Hope you're well. Chris says, big up, lads. Hope you're well. Crazy day in football news. Talk about that coming from nowhere. Felt like I've been shot. Going to be emotional and powerful Klopp final home game. Yeah, no, that was absolutely crazy. Obviously, I found out as soon as I woke up this morning, and I was like, wow, because I saw it originally on YouTube recommended. It says why I've left Liverpool. I was thinking, what? Has he left already? But no, obviously it's the end of the season. But yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. I know to a lot of Liverpool fans, it rightly so because how long he's been there. You know, the way he transformed the club. It feels like someone died. You know, it's crazy. So yeah, no, it is going to be nuts. It is going to be nuts. But you know, like he said, as long as people, you know, obviously it's going to be difficult in that. But as long as people, you know, don't focus it all on him in the next coming games, you know, then just focus on what they've got to do, and you know, they could achieve something really special. You know, they're all still in all competitions, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, big up to Paul as well. He says, "Good evening, lads. Big up to yourself." But yeah, there you go, Dad. It's your team.
Yeah, obviously, I've gone crawling goal. Same. Because Mendy had such a poor game, I'm thinking he might be rested a little bit more for this. So I've gone Bell at the back there. Bell will show, and Burke on see. I think Burke will start again as well. And then similar to how we started against Bolton in certain ways. So I've got Doughty on the left, Chio on the right, Barkley and Lokonga in midfield. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the team that started initially against Bolton. And then, yeah, Chong on the left. I think Chong deserves to start, I think, after the last game. Townsend as well. And then Elijah up front.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. It pretty much is. Obviously,
yeah, it's going to be a mixture of both. Obviously, checked it. Anderson's injured, Clark suspended. You know, Brown, I think he's back. So I think he come on in the last game. So we'll see, but it'll be strong anyway. But it's going to be interesting to see, because I think that Giles won't be in the squad. I think he will go to Hull. We can get into that, but yeah, that's what I think. We'll see.
Yeah,
Krul's a guaranteed. You know, there's Everton as well going to make changes. Let's not forget that Pickford probably won't be in goal. And they'll make changes as well because they've also got important games coming up. We don't know whether they're going to get another 10-point deduction or what's going on there as well. So, you know, both teams have one eye on that. I do believe if it is a draw, it's a replay. I don't think it's.
Yeah, it is a replay. Yeah.
You know, both teams might be trying to get over the line as well. I think it'd be quite a free-flowing game. But yeah, that's my line.
Yeah. No, obviously, you know, the Bolton one obviously was very strong. You know, obviously in the first leg. You know, again, Rob Edwards has said it. He said it again today. You know, these lineups that he's gone with in these 3 FA Cup games, the 2 Bolton ones and this one, you know, he's gone out there to win the games. You know, very strong. And he said he's, you know, done the same again. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I could see, you know, mainly a lot of what you said. I do see Bell probably going into that centre back role because again we keep going with it, and that's the thing. You know he has his moments there, but it's not even that I think he's terrible there. I just think he's very inconsistent there at times. Sometimes you get a good Bell there, sometimes you don't. But to be fair, the last few times he's played there, he's done all right. So that's fair enough, and I could probably see Chio on the right as well due to that. Because then obviously, like you say, does it put Doughty over to the left? But it's going to be interesting. Like you say, there will be some that won't, be a mixture. Like you'll see Barkley for sure, I reckon, especially against Everton. And then, Ruddock, who doesn't really start. I could see something like that. So we will see what goes on there. But yeah, I was actually looking, if I wanted to, David Mack. I could actually get a ticket. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, because obviously I don't have a season ticket, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, let me know when I have to let you know, boy, and I'll let you know, mate. But yeah, school predictions. Obviously, we'll do that in a second. But yeah, talking about the Ryan Giles thing, Dad. Something's actually come out. Rob Edwards. I've just seen it literally as we speak.
Okay.
So he said, we've had an interesting offer from a club. The ball's in the players' court at the moment. We can make a real mature decision between us all, and we'll get to that point. So, you
Yeah,
know,
I heard it earlier, and that's what I was, that's why I think that it is developing. It's not a win thing. Like he was also asked about Ben Sheaf and Bartley. He said Bartley definitely not. He said Sheaf, nothing's going on at the moment. Obviously, I do think we're interested in, but I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, he didn't shut the Giles one down. So obviously, there is more to it. But the way the club, they run it, they won't. You can speculate, but they don't normally say until it's done. It's a done deal, and then they'll say, yeah, Ryan felt that he wasn't really, he hadn't settled really. It'll be along them lines because it must be. Don't spend 5 mil on a player, like give him whatever contract we gave him, 2-3 years, and then be quite happy to sell him 6 months down the line, which is basically factual. That's what's going on. So an interesting, it'd be a loan to buy, and maybe based on if they get promoted as well, they might have to pay a bigger fee. There'll be stuff like that. He hasn't done too well when we've seen him, and Doughty's just took that role on, and it's blown him out of the team basically. And if he's not patient enough this is a problem we will encounter if we do stay in the Premier League. It's hard to keep all the players happy, but if someone's not, then we, because of the bond and the team spirit that we keep trying to continue, if there's someone in there that's not entirely happy like that, we'll get rid of them.
Yeah.
So as long as we get at least what we got back, paid for him, we're not going to be sitting here saying it's a big loss, because it's not at this current time, is it?
No. Like you say, because how well Doughty's been, it's not.
Exactly. And we have got cover in that area, let's be honest. So, especially, defending, if they come back, he doesn't defend. He's defending terrible. Maybe that's it. That's why Piera was probably loaned out at that time. He started off, got assists and stuff, but coming back, that's what it is. Morel didn't want to be that player. And that's what it is. And I've noticed that over the years. Yeah, it could be an error, but if we can quickly get back what we haven't really lost anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's like Rob Edwards said a couple of months ago as well. When he was, when he does play going forward, he's going to play like as a winger sort of thing. And we were thinking, what? So we got him in as one that can defend and bomb forward sort of thing. But yeah, like you say, there's been glimpses where we've seen he hasn't lived up to definitely what we thought. Especially for 5 million, we don't spend 5 million like it's nothing. Do you know what I mean? So and to be fair, I was talking to Lewis about it, because obviously he holds the team that he's most likely going to go to. And Lewis was saying apparently there's something in it where you were mentioning the if they go up, that he was saying to me, if depending on how many games he plays, they'll have to, it'll be more on the price or something like that.
Yeah.
So there is that, but yeah, my thoughts on it, like I say, it's like you said, that it's not at this current stage. It doesn't look like the end of the world, because how well Doughty's done, and like I say, we do have cover there. And I see a Luton fan the other day talking about it, and they were saying, we should have really tried to prioritise more that right hand side. Obviously, we've got Kabore, but when it comes to options alongside Kabore, you don't really. Yeah, you do have it with Doughty and Chio, but Chio's the player you'd love to play higher. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind when he's up on the right. I think he's really good there. But again, he is better going forward. Higher up the pitch, and Doughty, can obviously play on the left and the right. But yeah, and if I'm being honest, you lot know my thoughts from what I've seen of Kabore. I haven't been impressed, so we're gonna probably have to replace him, even though it is only a loan. but the point. So it's not going to be one of them as it stands, in my opinion, where we're going to be trying to sign. He hasn't been great. So yeah, it's all interesting. But yeah, we're good, thanks, mate. Hope you're well as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chris and Jackie have put in their score predictions. Do put in your score predictions if you haven't already. We're going to get into ours now. So, Dad, like you say, you're feeling fairly confident. You think it's going to be a pretty good game. What's your score prediction in this one?
Well, we've got a poor. I don't think we've beaten them away in the cup competitions. But that was back then. We're different now. Again, because I think there's slightly less pressure on the game for both teams. That it will be free flowing, but I just think we're going to cancel each other out, and there'll end up being a replay at the Kenny, which we'll see who we get, because that's what happened. The draw, and then is it worth it? I think that'll happen again. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2. I've gone similar in the sense of I think it'll be a draw as well. Both teams will cancel each other out, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw, which, like I said, it means obviously a replay at Kenilworth Road. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, last season as well, obviously we had a draw in the first one, but obviously we was at home against Grimsby and then we lost. But coming back to Kenilworth Road, I think we'd have a decent chance, depending on how we approach it as well, like you say, depending on who, we get, or could get, shall I say. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, everyone else's predictions. Chris has actually gone 1-0 to Everton. Says hard to call on who will win. Both teams will have Premier League survival as their priority, but it's good for sharpness. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing as well. We said that, in the Bolton game. Well, more so you, Dad. Obviously, it'd been good to, try and go through. So then we, not as, what's the best word? We're not sort of out of contention when it comes to sort of fitness. Obviously we had the time out in Dubai, and it would have been a longer wait. Obviously. So it's good that we've, progressed, and yeah, I agree with that when it comes to the sharpness. Jackie says 2-1 to Luton. So obviously what it was in the league. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, we could do it again, and if we do it again, obviously we'd have broke a record. Like I said earlier, last time we did that was against Stoke in the very long time ago. So it'd be nice. And Paul has also gone with a 2-1 as well. So again, that would be nice. Progression and be interesting. I'm not too sure when the draw is. I haven't really had a look, to be honest. But
probably on Monday.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's on Monday, whenever the last game is, which is Blackburn Wrexham. So probably before then or after. So yeah, we will see. But yeah, Chris also says won't be shocked if Luton win on the other hand. Just one of them games where I don't know who wins. No, that's fair enough. That's why we both said a draw, because it's sort of it's hard to separate us, for me as well, especially being in the relegation battle together. It's sort of difficult to call. Obviously, I'm a bit more positive than I was last time I went to Goodison Park. Obviously, I said a 1-0 loss, so it's going to be interesting, for sure. Again, I'll be honest, if it was at home, I'd have probably backed us to win, but away we're not bad, but it's just you just don't know really. It's hard to separate. It's like you said as well, Dad. You don't really know if they're going to rotate or not either. So it's going to be interesting. But any final things you'd like to say about anything, Dad?
Yeah, goal scorers. I'm going to go.
Oh yeah, I'll keep forgetting that.
I'm going to go Barkley and Elijah.
I'm going to go Barkley. I've got a feeling. Apparently, according to certain Everton fans, he will get booed, but Townsend won't. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, G him up even more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It will G him up and then he'll score. So yeah, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, when we played him in the league, he weren't at us, was he? I don't think he was he?
No, I think he was, but he
double check.
I think he was, but he didn't play it that well. He come on as a substitute, I think.
I know Ruddock was obviously in the midfield, because like I say, the first two games we won, he started.
Ruddock and the Camber.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, was he on the bench? No, he weren't even on the. He weren't even on the bench. Yeah, I thought so. So, yeah.
That must have been before we signed him then, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. I think it
Okay.
was, yeah. So, there you go. He could be, maybe if we do win, he could be the difference. You never know. You know, and he sort of has got unlucky at times as well. You know, obviously, you look at the Newcastle game, he could have extended the lead, very unlucky. The Arsenal game, you know, he's really good in that. Obviously, put us, you know, into a decent position, but, you know, obviously, it didn't end quite the way he wanted to. So, you know, and he's, like we keep saying, he is due to score a banger, and it would be pretty mad. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes tomorrow. No, I keep saying I wouldn't be surprised if it comes this and then, but against Everton, it wouldn't be a surprise. But we will see what goes on. But yeah, obviously we'll be back again in a few days. I'll tell you what, we'll probably do it a day after the draw. I believe, like I say, the draw will be on Monday, so we'll do it after. And then obviously we got Brighton this weekend. Sorry, midweek actually, haven't we? What day is that on actually? Is that on Tuesday? I'll tell you what, if that's on Tuesday, then we might as well. Yeah, it is. It is. So we might as well just do it all in one as we get into that. And then, yeah, obviously, like I say, we've got Brighton on the Tuesday. And then we got Newcastle on the Saturday. So we'll obviously do a hat show, obviously, on Monday. And then, yeah, we'll let you lot know about upcoming ones and that sort of thing. But, yeah, that is that. And obviously, Villa has now been announced to be on TV. So, again, I will be doing a watch along to that. That is on, I believe it's the 2nd of March. Yeah, it is, which is a 5:30 kickoff. So I'll be doing a watch along to that. And then obviously next watch along as it stands is Man United, which is on the 18th of February. And yeah, quite a big weekend that actually, because obviously Fury's fighting Usyk. If you're into boxing, so I'll be doing a watch along there. Got a big watch along plan for that. It's only right, being a big fight. And then obviously I'll be doing a watch along the next day to Luton Man United. So do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And big up to everyone that has tuned in. We are currently on 9 likes. Obviously, do smash a like there. Again, I know a lot of people watch this back on playback. Do subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. That'd be much appreciated as well. I did put out a YouTube short earlier on the main channel as well, reacting to that Klopp news, because that was pretty insane. You know, even as a neutral, it was obviously I have a soft spot for Liverpool, but still, you know, it was still crazy to see that. So I've done a little talking point about that. Who should be the next manager? So make sure you do have a little look at that if you haven't already. And yeah, do subscribe to the other channel, obviously T-Boys TV Extra. There'll be shorts on there, of course. So do check them out. And yeah, follow me across the socials. You know, if you haven't already, obviously again, link to them are all in the description. And yeah, let's go through the last load of comments. Great team as always, lads. Take care. We got Bolton at home tomorrow. We're 10 points off safety. We are down anyway. Jeez, yeah, it's not looking great. Carlisle, obviously, I've seen a lot of you know, I've spoke to you about it anyway, Chris. But the manager stuff, you know, it's sort of turning on him now. You know, which you know I can totally understand. To be honest, you know, some of the comments he's come out and said, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bolton won. But it's a narrow win, you know, because, you know, I watched the Bolton game before they played us and I can't remember who it was, but they only won 1-0, but they should have scored way more, you know, amount of chances they had. So, but I think you guys at home, you'll make it tight. But yeah, there we go with that. So yeah, like I say, smash a like, subscribe, all of that, and follow me across the socials, subscribe to the other channel. And yeah, until Monday, sorry, not Monday, Tuesday. No, yeah, Monday. Flipping hell. Monday, we will see you in a bit. So until then, take care and peace.